On August 4, 2020, Beirut, the capital of Lebanon, witnessed one of the largest non-nuclear explosions in history. I am Aidit, representing the Port Authority perspective, and I'm here to interview the other parties and also to guide you through what happened and why it mattered to the shipping worldwide.
Speaking for the shipping companies, this disaster shook not only Lebanese ports but disrupted the logistics of the entire Eastern Mediterranean trade network.
I'm a trade expert, so today I'll explain the economic and supply chain consequences that rip across the international shipping.
As a government representative focusing on policy, governments, and crucial lessons learned from regulatory failures.
I'm from the Emergency Response Coordinator. I'll highlight the human and logistics efforts that went into handling the aftermath.
Hi, I'm representing the citizen affected by the blast. I show how this incident wasn't just numbers, it impacted real lives and communities.
The crisis explanation. Oof. Honestly, it still gives me a trauma. But I think I can tell you a little about it. At approximately 6 p.m., residents noticed smoke rising from warehouse 12, adjacent to the grain silos. This warehouse held a dangerous combination: 2,750 tons of ammonium nitrate, oil, kerosene, hydrochloric acid, and worse, even fireworks.
So the ammonium nitrate was actually abandoned by a Russian-owned vessel, MV Rosos, back in 2013. Authorities could not contact the owners, and the cargo remained in the port for 7 years, unsecured and untreated.
This was a government's failure. Port authorities failed to ensure proper storage or disposal, leaving hazardous materials in densely populated area.
For the local community, this was a ticking time bomb. Families live and work within sight of these dangerous warehouses, unaware of this threat above them.
When the explosion occurred, the scale was unimaginable. Mushroom clouds, supersonic shockwave, and seismic tremors were felt kilometers away. Over 200 lives were lost, 7,000 injured, and nearly 300,000 displaced.
The port itself was devastated. Critical infrastructure, including container terminal and grain silo, was destroyed. So it immediately halting the operation and the trade also.
Lebanon's maritime trade collapsed overnight. The port of Beirut handled over 80% of the country's import and exports. And after the incident, ships had to be rerouted to smaller ports like in Tripoli or regional hubs in Egypt, which this caused major congestion.
Those alternative ports lacked the necessary infrastructure, with water berths and gantry cranes, resulting in logistical delays and skyrocketing operational costs for carriers.
We citizens also face economic consequences, like grain scarcity led to hyperinflation, and food insecurity became a harsh reality for many of us.
Emergency responders were stretched thin, hospitals and rescue teams were overwhelmed, highlighting the need for better disaster preparedness and coordination.
The environmental damage was severe. Chemical runoff into the Mediterranean, toxic smoke from fires, and long-term contamination force a reassessment of port safety regulations worldwide.
Legal complication arose immediately. Insurance claim totally 3 billion were stalled and responsibility was contested between ship owner, port authority and government official.
So, what's the management response and solutions for our country? Basically, the international community launched the Lebanon Reform, Recovery and Reconstruction Framework, or 3RF. This 18-month plan focuses on rebuilding infrastructure, governments, and supporting affected communities.
It's good. The program had dual objectives: socio-economic recovery for the citizens and small businesses, and the other one is to structural reforms to prevent the future negligence.
Emergency response improvements included better coordination, integration of international aid, and scaling healthcare capacity to handle casualties effectively.
So even right now, judicial investigation is still ongoing, and right now is still facing significant obstacles because of Lebanon's political interference. So families of the victims, they still continue to demand some sort of accountability, emphasizing the importance of legal enforcement alongside with recovery.
So like ports worldwide responded by enforcing stricter safety regulations. They also digitalize hazard tracking, and they applied the IMDG code. As far as I am not aware, they applied the IMDG code rigorously.
So this response highlights how a single disaster can catalyze the global reform in shipping and port management.
Prevention is the first step. Continuous monitoring of hazardous materials, regular inspections, and public alert system to reduce risk before disaster strikes.
Mitigation strategies include disaster drills, risk assessment, and rapid communication channels to alert both authorities and the citizens.
During crisis response, leadership matters such as effective incident command, coordinated international aid, and scalable healthcare systems are essential.
So recovery must be comprehensive, restoring the health services, the social infrastructure, and in order to ensure long-term sustainability so that we are prepared for future disasters.
Recommendations. I think we shipping companies we have to diversify port usage. We also have to enhance emergency preparedness, and finally maybe we have to adhere strictly to international safety standards. So I think that's probably what I would like to recommend.
Government and port authorities must promote transparency, enforcing accountability and maintain open communication with citizens and stakeholders.
So basically, the Beirut port explosion demonstrates the consequences of neglected hazardous material management, poor oversight, and lack of accountability.
There's so many things we can conclude really, because like it disrupted trade, it also destroyed the infrastructure, and importantly, it caused immense human suffering, and I'm talking about like significantly actually.
So what we can say about this whole thing is It reveals the vulnerability of global supply chains being dependent on just one single major port hub.
International frameworks like 3RF show the importance of coordinated recovery, but accountability and enforcement remain crucial.
Communities must be protected through better regulation, risk monitoring, and adherence to international safety standards.
With this, it can lead to a safer port, improved risk management, stronger regulation, and a resilient, sustained global shipping system for the future. Okay, so that's all. I hope all of you can learn something from this strategy. And thank you for watching. May we see for the next session.